Welcome again to this week's episode of LdnOnt TV here on Rogers TV. I am your host, Bronagh Morgan, and it is February. And February in London, you can't miss it, is Black History Month. What an absolute privilege I have today to introduce, I'm not sure if you've met this person yet, Yvonne Asare-Bediako, who is the City of London's new Black Community Liaison Officer. So she's our first guest today. Welcome to the show. Thanks for being here, Yvonne.
Thank you so much, Bronagh. It's a pleasure to be here.
So first guest for this month. This is a new position. I think you're relatively new to the position. So talk to me about, I guess, what the position entails and maybe what you're hoping to accomplish in this new role.
So Black Community Liaison Advisor, I would say my primary role is to engage the Black community and see how the city can strengthen its relationship with the Black community. And for me, this is very important, knowing our experience in the past and still some of the things that we go through and the relationship we've had with systems so far. So for me, I see it as an opportunity to build that trust that's been broken. And it's very exciting to know that they could trust someone like me to help with this bridge building, so basically that's the position, but it has several components. So we have an internal focus piece and an externally focused piece as well. So internally, I'm supposed to help address things like recruitment, employment, ensure that Black people also get the opportunities to enter into an organization like the City of London, but also ensure that those who have already been employed actually feel supported and well equipped to give up their best to the community. Our work goes beyond what we do within our organization to affect our community very broadly and very largely. So for us to be able to support our employees, our Black employees, actually shows that we are willing to also ensure that Blacks in the city also feel like they belong in a space like the City of London and that their needs will be met. And it will be met with all the tools and resources that are available to everyone else. So I really like the focus of this role, especially the internal role. I'll talk about the external, which I'm also very passionate about, but I really want to acknowledge that within the organization itself, we've had the privilege of getting resources and supports. Even the anti-racism, anti-oppression team that I belong to is enough support for me. We have people who are looking at supporting people who have been oppressed in society or experiencing some kind of oppression. And so we speak the same language, we have the same support, we speak the same focus, and we work together. And that alone is support. But aside from that, there are so many resources that have been made available for me to be able to do this work effectively. Sometimes you'll be told, oh, help us build the trust, but you don't get the tools and the resources. But I'm fortunate that within the city, these have been provided to make sure that the work is done and done like it's supposed to be done. And aside from that, for my external role, I am supposed to engage in community or engage with community so that I get the opportunity to meet a lot of the Black organizations, Black individuals, leaders alike, leaders and non-leaders alike, the ordinary, I won't say the ordinary, the everyday Black person. I like to put it that way, the everyday Black person, the people who don't get into the history books, yet who live everyday lives that reflect the experience of the Black person. And it's just an exciting opportunity to connect with people who look like me and to hear some of the amazing things that they are doing in community and what they want to do to help people out of the cracks. A lot of us have fallen into the cracks because of the lack of support, but I like to see the unity that is emerging with time, to see to it that many people are also being attended to, that it's not just those who are known and those who are in the books that are acknowledged, but the people who are at the grassroots, and the things that they are doing to support each other. And I'm very happy to know that I am in a position where I can be part of this experience and part of this opportunity to help lift people out of the cracks, and help support people, stabilize them, enhance their potential to be able to contribute even more within our society. So in terms of my community work, so far I've connected with so many different organizations. I've got to meet wonderful people. I can't mention names because the names are many. But the truth is that there are so many wonderful people doing amazing things in the community. And I can't wait to partner with them to do some of these on a larger scale to help our community, the Black community, because I see potential, but I see that without support, these potentials can't really be highlighted like they are supposed to. So this is just a bit of my work. There's so much more to it, but I will cap it here for now.
So I can't imagine anybody who would not want to engage with you after that couple of minutes that you just shared with us. Your enthusiasm for this position, your energy is, if that's not catching on with everybody that's watching right now, I don't understand the viewers. Wow. So, I'm somebody watching right now, for example. How do I engage with you and your office? How do you get in touch? And what kind of initiatives are you, kind of proud of that you're getting behind right now?
Actually, right now, I can give you my email address, my phone number. You can always touch base with me. I always say that I'm never beyond reach. And today I may be helping you, but tomorrow you may be helping me. So it's not like Yvonne is a superhero doing all the work. We are doing it together. I always say it's a collaboration. I don't see how anybody goes far without collaboration. So you can reach me anytime on my email. It's yasare@LdnOnt.ca. And my phone number is 226-577-2001. You can reach me anytime at the city, or even if you call the city and you ask for my extension, they can give you my number and everything. So in terms of, you asked the second question, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, so maybe, I know you've been in the position only a short time, but is there anything that you're really excited about that you're involved in just by virtue of this role right away, or things you're really looking forward to coming up in the short term?
Oh, yes. The greatest thing that could happen is to have policies that really attend to the needs of racialized people and create opportunities for them to know that they belong and they're part of the community. So the one key thing we are doing right now is developing an anti-racism, anti-oppression framework, a framework that will guide how policies are made, how recruitment is made, how employment is undertaken, to ensure that people who are coming into the organization and seeking employment are fairly or equitably treated, if I should put it that way. Sometimes, in my culture like this, sometimes I'll say that we necessarily don't know how to share our experiences, but we have a lot of experiences, we have a lot of potential, a lot of education. So how can we break those barriers for people to really show who they are, so that it's not just about the one who is able to speak the language and speak it really clearly, but the one who has had that practical experience to be able to do the work and do it well. So we are trying to use this framework to help us break some of these barriers. No, I wouldn't say some, all of these barriers, to ensure that people have equitable access. One thing that the city is doing right now that I'm very excited about is the fact that it's doing more of a targeted hiring. So if individuals are qualified and they come from certain racial groups, they have more opportunity also than they did in the past to be hired. So it's really, really wonderful, because I see that you can't have a city where you have diverse people, and yet the people who are in the city making policies for them don't reflect the population that you are trying to address. So it's great that the city is doing that, and I'm excited to be part, because the truth of the matter is that this framework we are developing, which I have the privilege to lead, will help enhance some of these things. So this is the one main thing that I'll talk about now, but there's so many other initiatives coming up, and I can't wait to share it later.
I'm looking forward to hearing more from you in the future, and I'm sure all of our viewers are as well. Those phone numbers and email, we'll make sure that we post those as well, so people can link through to actually get a hold of you. And I know that you're actually going to call people back and respond to emails. This is just wonderful. It's so great to meet you, and I hope you will come back again, because that's all the time we have for this segment. But I'm sure there's so much more that you have to share, and so thank you so much, Yvonne, for being here. Yvonne Asari Bidiako from the City of London. We're going to be hearing more from you soon, and I'm looking forward to that for sure. I'm sure all our viewers are as well. We're going to have to take a short break, so we'll be back with more LDNONT TV after this.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
Carbon monoxide is a deadly gas you can't see, smell, or taste.
Homes with fuel-burning appliances and/or attached garages must have working CO alarms installed outside all sleeping areas.
Don't let the silent killer get you. Install working CO alarms today.
Every year, dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
Hey everyone, this is Aaron and Dave from the 37th Frank Youth Center, here today to talk to you about the second annual Coldest Night of the Year walk here in Strathroy on February 26th.
Last year, the money raised from Coldest Night of the Year went to so many good programs. We fed youth, we clothed youth, we got them connected to help that they need, and we gave over 1,200 meals to people in our community.
We surpassed our goal last year. Help us this year to reach our goal of $40,000.
Coldest Night of the Year isn't just about raising funds, it's also about raising awareness for poverty, homelessness, and hunger in our community.
Unfortunately, due to COVID restrictions, it's Walk Your Way this year. However, please share your videos and photos on our Strathroy CNOY Facebook group.
Please go to cnoy.org/Strathroy if you want to join a team, start a team, or if you just want to donate.
Welcome back to LdnOnt TV here on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Bronagh, and now we have another amazing guest to introduce. Well, I guess not really introduce, because I'm sure many people in the London and area community have met or know of Leroy Hibbert. Leroy is the Multicultural Outreach Program Coordinator for LUSO. He also recently won a Pillar Community Award for I don't know if you're Outstanding Londoner, I can't remember what the award was for, but one of the many amazing things that you do here in the community. And right now you are the organizer of the Black History Month Coordinating Committee's opening celebration and have some other roles within the organization. So hopefully we can talk to you a little bit today about some of the things that are coming up this month. Welcome to the show, Leroy.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me.
So can you tell us about some of maybe the opening ceremonies that are coming up? I believe it's on the 5th, so that's a Saturday, and maybe how people can get involved and some of the other really awesome opportunities that people have to get involved with the Black History Month celebrations here in London.
Sure, not a problem. So this is our 20th anniversary for the committee itself. So we're called the London Black History Coordinating Committee. And it somewhat came together with some people that had an idea and a vision to commemorate Black History Month throughout the entire month in London, Ontario, because there's nothing really formally done. And then that it blossomed into something very successful, and we were just so pleased with it. And so every year we have a different theme regarding how we're going to basically integrate some of these ideas. And this year our theme for Black History Month is respecting our past, embracing the present, and impacting the future. And so from that, we have a number of different signature events that we host. And then we also support other events that are not necessarily quote unquote under our umbrella, if you will. But we're just here to make sure that people get an idea of, the significant contributions of people that are from the Black community, and not just that idea of what's called slavery, because, you know, slavery is not necessarily a part of our history. I believe it's an interruption to our history. So we were actually a group of people before all these things transpired. But I think it's important to give a balanced approach of people that are from our community. So one specific thing we do every year is we have an opening celebration. And that's on this Saturday, February 5th. It's at 1 p.m. and it's on Zoom. And so anybody can come. It's a free event. The only thing it'll cost you is your time. And in that, we usually have a guest speaker, we have some entertainment, and it's just a celebration and a wonderful way to kick off all the wonderful, extraordinary events that we have throughout the course of the month. And so we have, for example, for the opening celebration, we have our guest speaker. Her name is Donna Paris. We have some performers named Sunday Ajak. We have my wife, Helen Hibbert, that's going to be performing as well. We have a gentleman that's performing. His name is John Eni Olua. We also have a wonderful performer as well, Horati, if you will. He's from the continent of Africa. And a wonderful person that's on our committee named Scholastica Asachop. And she'll be also talking a bit about the idea of mental health and really kind of bringing things together as well. So those are some of the things. And we also have some other events that are actually taking place as well that are also significant. And one of them being is we have a Trojan celebration that's online. It's February 7th, 14th, 21st, and the 28th. That's from 6:30 to 7 p.m. We have also as well wonderful program called, we have an African Food Festival that happens on February 19th as well. And February 19th, pardon me. We also have the Louis Correa Trailblazer Award. The London Police Services puts that on, and Louis Correa is the first Black police officer that was in London, Ontario, and he's still with us today. And so we want to honor him. And this is a Trailblazer Award, and it's given to a high school student, and we celebrate him and also the person that won the award. We have as well a wonderful youth forum that's taking place on the 25th of February from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And then to kind of wrap everything up, we have also a closing celebration on Zoom as well. And that's on February 26th from 2 to 4 p.m. And there's a cost to that. And that's $16.93, if you will.
So some of the events are virtual. Some of them are going to be taking place, we hope, in person.
Yeah, well, most of them, I believe most of them actually are virtual right now. Mm-hmm. I mean, all the events that were actually our signature events that I've listed off, for the most part, they're all virtual. You know, we have actually, we have for the African Food Festival, if you will, it's a pickup, if you will, pickup order, as opposed to sitting down collectively as a group to break bread together. And we usually do that, but because of the conditions that we find ourselves in, we want to make sure that everybody's safe. But we do want to give them a taste of our community as well. So this is how we balance out that sort of idea.
And so you'd be supporting, I guess, local restaurants and local businesses as well, trying some food maybe you haven't tried before. And tell me about some of the aspects of community that, you would be able to engage with. So, we all spend a lot of time on Zoom right now. We do a lot of events virtually. I know the Louis Correa event in particular, like I've attended that before. Speeches happen, really inspiring young people who get involved by writing essays, I think is what happens. And then there's a contest about who writes the most compelling essay. Is there a theme for that essay that the students write?
Well, for the most part, I guess London Police Services somewhat oversee that. So that's kind of their department. But our general theme for all the activities is this idea of what I mentioned to you previously. But all the events that we're trying to do is we're trying to make it as diverse as possible. Because when you're dealing with the Black community, you're not necessarily dealing with the Black community, you're dealing with Black communities. So we are diverse within our population itself. And so we want to give a proper idea and look as far as who we are as a people. Because many times when you think about Black history, although it's very important to use this as a wonderful opportunity to kick off the event, I think that one of the wonderful things that we can do is make this part of our daily walk, if you will. Because, I mean, outside of February, Black people are going to still be here, right? So we talk about March, we talk about April, and these are maybe some ideas that people can use to continue the conversation, to continue to build community, to continue to understand each other from different walks of life, so that we're not just necessarily relegated to a particular month. Although it's important to have, I think also it's important to do some other things throughout the course of the year.
Absolutely. And so this is just a wonderful opportunity to, I guess, learn about the different ways that we can engage with our neighbors, learn about history, and, make Black History Month a part of every month going forward here in the City of London. So I know you're going to have some links for us to share as well, ways for people to get involved. Yes. And thank you for being here. So what else can we just leave with our viewers about how to get involved?
And just to leave you with that, leave the audience with that Black History Month is not specifically just for Black people. You don't have to be from our persuasion, if you will, to attend the events. And all the events are basically something that that's children friendly, that's youth friendly, that's people friendly, and that's community friendly. And you can take a look at this in the confines of your own living environment, if you will. And hopefully this can, as we get forward and as this pandemic lifts, if you will, we're going to have some in-person events that'll be also extraordinary as well going forward. But thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of this. And I appreciate this wonderful time that you've given us.
Well, I appreciate you being here as well. Please stay with us. We're going to have to take a break with more LdnOnt TV after this. Thanks, Leroy.
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
For 25 years, you've been helping to make our roads safer by doing the right thing. You've been the designated driver, you've stayed over, called home, you've called a cab or a friend, and planned ahead. Let's keep doing the right thing. Support sober driving by getting yourself and your friends home safely.
Do the right thing.
Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive. Drive sober.
For more information about the vaccine and eligibility, visit healthunit.com. To book an appointment, call the number on your screen or book online at covidvaccinelm.ca.
Jeff from Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff. We're back for season 3. We've had the opportunity to see some great backyards and have some great barbecue. Join us, Chillin' and Grillin' with Jeff.
Welcome back to LdnOnt TV. I'm Bronagh, obviously. We've been chatting with some really interesting people a little bit about Black History Month and the activities that are coming up here in London. I know that Leroy had mentioned there was some awesome activities for children and families included in some of the festivities this month. And we are very privileged to have with us one of the performers. Her name's LdnOnt, and she is going to be performing at the Children's Celebration. Let's talk a little bit about LdnOnt. You tell our viewers what it is that you're going to be performing.
Today, I'm going to be performing a song called Canon in D, and I'm also going to be performing a song called Minuet.
And I didn't tell our viewers what it is that you're going to be performing them with. So your instrument is?
The violin.
Violin. So you've been playing violin for how long?
About 4.5.
Wow. Okay. So how did you decide that violin was the thing that you wanted to get into?
Well, at that time, I knew a couple of instruments, but I saw the violin on TV and I found it very unique and I wanted to try it.
And how difficult is it to get to from where you were 4 years ago to where you are now that you're going to be performing for I don't even know how many people are going to be watching you perform at this event coming up.
It took a lot of practice.
Absolutely.
And it took a lot of practice to get here.
How often do you have to practice violin to get to the point that you're comfortable performing?
Well, really anyone can perform at whatever age, but it really includes usually I would time myself for 30 minutes or sometimes 2 times a day.
And so do you have, obviously during the pandemic, this must be pretty tricky with getting music lessons done. So have you been able to study online? Did you still go visit a teacher, or how does it all work out?
Well, I do it online. I get into a Zoom and I do with my teacher, which is a little bit more difficult, and I prefer to be face-to-face.
I'm sure, absolutely. And so I'm sure you're hoping that, I guess, that's going to come back sometime soon. What is your favorite thing about playing violin?
I like how that I get the chance to play for people, because I find it really exciting and I love learning new things.
Awesome. Now, obviously, you must do other things other than violin. So when you're not violining, you must go to school probably. Yeah. What other things are you into these days?
Well, in the summer, I usually would do tennis with my dad, which is really, really fun. I love swimming, and in the winter, I wanted to try skiing.
And have you had a chance to do that, or has it been too tricky with all of the shutdowns?
It's been a bit tricky, but we're getting the lessons soon.
Fantastic. Now, if there is anybody that's watching right now that is maybe a little bit on the fence about whether or not they should get into skiing or violin, can you maybe encourage somebody your age? What's your favorite thing about being a violin player, and what's your favorite thing about skiing and just getting involved in these different kinds of activities?
Yeah, I like the violin because, like I said, I like how it's different and how I have to get challenging things, and how it can really make you want to be on the violin all day, learning and experimenting with different stuff. And I love tennis because it's a sport and I like sports. And I get to try something different because I was not always in sports. And I find it really fun with the ball. And I like skiing because usually I'm a little bit afraid of heights and trying new things, and I wanted to get a little bit out of my comfort zone.
Awesome. Well, you're inspiring, I think, a lot of people today, and particularly me, because I'm afraid of heights as well. Now we're going to get a chance to listen to one of your performances on the violin, and we're going to end our show with your performance. So thank you so much for being with us, Mnet. And thank you to all of our other guests as well who came to visit us here on LdnOnt TV today. Enjoy this performance, get involved in Black History Month, and we'll see you next week with more of our show. Take care.
Call the Rogers TV Viewer Response Line. Email us or connect with us on social media.
When an impaired driver killed my brother DJ, my life changed forever. Life has changed for all of us during the pandemic, and many people are turning to alcohol and drugs to cope. Even though most of us are staying home more, police across Ontario are seeing an alarming increase in impaired driving and the horrible devastation that goes with it. Now, more than ever, we need your commitment to never drive impaired and to encourage all of your family and friends to do the same. Together, we can save lives.
Hi everyone, my name's Ranger M, and I work at Catfish Creek Conservation Authority. I'm the Community Outreach Technician, and that means I do a lot of this. Chatting about all things nature and conservation with kids, adults, teachers, everyone. I love to knowledge share, and that's just what I'm going to do with you. So come on, let's go learn with Ranger M.